And quickly moving on to our next panel discussion, our next keynote presentation on data protection for the multi-cloud era by Mr. Mohammed Shorbagy, System Engineering Team Lead, Saudi Arabia and Levant from Veeam Software. The stage is all yours, Mohammed.
Thanks, Bridget. Thanks everyone for attending today. My session I will share, just confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, if you could just play that in slideshow mode.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Fantastic, looks good. Yeah, thanks.
Perfect. Okay, so thanks everyone for attending today. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum for everyone here in Saudi Arabia. Today, I will be with you from Veeam Software. I'm Mohammed Shorbagy, System Engineering Team Lead. I will present the data protection for the multi-cloud era. I know that we have multiple sessions about the cloud, how cloud hyperscalers and the cloud providers are providing mature services and advanced services to start moving your data between public cloud, private clouds, and even multi-clouds. We have customers here, we are meeting customers in Saudi Arabia and in Middle East region. They are hosting and started to host between multiple clouds. So today and the current year, we are meeting many customers are starting adopting the multi-cloud solutions. And if we think about it, the previous session from Oracle I was attending, and we know that we have a data loss. Why? Because we have SLA, we have 4 nines, 5 nines, maybe 6 nines, and maybe tomorrow or next year we will have 9 nines, but still we have SLA and we don't confirm that we have 100% availability about our services. So still we have data loss can happen in the cloud. We have a survey from Veeam we did it last year, and we found that in addition to the service level agreement and this connection between your data center and the cloud provider, we still have another options, and we still have another reasons why we can protect our data in the cloud, like user errors, human errors, accidental deletion. Any user, any human can have an error to delete his data from inside his machine. We can have still security threats. We have ransomware. We have many customers. We met many organizations who had ransomware attacks. Even they are running their environment, their data centers totally on the cloud or still in the hybrid cloud or multi-cloud mode. In addition to that, many cloud providers are providing retention options. You can take a snapshot, you can revert back your data from 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, 3 months, but still retention policy gaps are there, because what if you have a regulation, you have an audit that is requiring you and it's enforcing you to keep your data for 10 years forever. The financial firms, the government sector, they cannot only have a retention policy of 1 month, 3 months, as an example. And we have other reasons behind that. So back to the slide of the shared responsibility. If we are discussing the SLA between you as a customer and the cloud provider, we will find that the cloud provider will take care of the compute, storage, database, networking, the software layer. If you are subscribing for infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, container as a service, the cloud native, but still the cloud provider will take care of the compute, storage, database, networking, and the software layer. And you as a customer, as a cloud consumer, you still own your data. You still need to control your data. You still need to retain your data. You still need to have a backup of your data. You need to make sure your data is secure. No one can attack it. And even if you have an attack or if you have a security threat, you should have a backup strategy or data protection strategy to recover from this attack. So that Veeam has a clear vision to be the most trusted provider of backup solutions that deliver the cloud data management. So Veeam is promising, and we are providing to our customers a clear message that we can protect the whole cloud infrastructure, even if it's a private cloud, even if it is a public cloud, even if it's a hybrid cloud. If you are consuming data services or compute services or infrastructure services from multiple clouds, Veeam will provide the backup and recovery solution for you. Natively, using Veeam agentless solution, using Veeam agents, using Veeam services, and we will go through it in details in the next slides. In addition to that, Veeam is providing you the cloud mobility functionality. If you need to move now from private cloud to public cloud, a hyperscaler like Amazon, Google, Azure, Oracle, any cloud provider, Veeam is providing you this functionality to move your data from on-prem to cloud, from cloud to on-prem, from a cloud provider to another cloud provider, and I will show you how Veeam is providing this matrix. In addition to that, Veeam is providing governance and compliance because you should keep your data retained inside your data center. What if you lost the connection between your data center and the cloud provider? Your data on-prem. What if you need to have another copy of your data from the cloud to on-prem? If you are running your backup data inside your data center and you need to have another copy on the cloud? What if you need to subscribe to object storage and keep immutable backup against ransomware, against security issues? Veeam is providing monitoring and analytics. Veeam can monitor your production infrastructure, starting from the virtual machines, from the operating system services, processes running inside it. Veeam is providing the monitoring and analytics, capacity planning, and governance solution to your backup and data protection infrastructure, so you can be proactive against any risk. Any issue can happen to your production, or any issue can happen to your backup infrastructure. You should be proactive, and Veeam is providing these capabilities to you. In addition to that, and on top of it, Veeam is providing orchestration and automation in case if you need to build a disaster recovery from HQ to DR on-prem. If you need to have your VMware over Azure, or VMware over AWS, VMware over Google, over Oracle Cloud. What if you need to build a complete disaster recovery, moving your whole data center from on-prem to cloud? Veeam is providing the orchestration, disaster recovery, and automation functionalities like that. If we need to talk natively, Veeam is providing the cloud native backup. If you have your workload running inside Azure, VMs, AWS EC2, Google instances, and others, Veeam is providing agentless solution to take a snapshot from these machines, from this workload running inside the cloud, and will keep the backup inside the cloud, so in a normal storage, even on object storage, on a cloud object storage, as a second copy or a snapshot. You can retain it for long-term retention. You can replicate the snapshots from one region to another region, from availability zone to another zone, natively with 100% integration with the cloud hyperscaler like Azure, Google, and AWS. And what if you are running your backup, your infrastructure over different cloud providers? Yes, Veeam has a solution for that. Veeam has agents to be running inside this machine, this cloud instances, and we can protect it using Veeam agents. What if you have your workload running totally on-prem and you need to protect it? Veeam can protect this workload, even if it's virtual, based on VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix HP with virtualization, Oracle, VM, OpenStack. Even you have physical workload like Windows, Linux, CIX. If you have enterprise applications like Oracle Rack Clusters, if you have Oracle Exagrid, if you have SAP HANA, if you have Mac, if you have endpoints or workstations, Veeam can protect all of this to keep this backup data inside your data center. In addition to that, Veeam can have another copy, can offload another copy of your data to be protected inside the cloud. If you are subscribing to any cloud provider and you have object storage subscription, Veeam can offload this backup data from your on-premise data center to the cloud. And the vice versa, if you have workload running on the cloud and you need to have another copy of the backup from the cloud to on-prem, Veeam can do that. Veeam can provide the second copy, the multiple copies from on-prem to cloud, from cloud to on-prem, from cloud to cloud, from on-prem to on-prem without any issues, with flexible solution. This is from the normal applications. While you have infrastructure machines, you have virtualization, you have normal physical server databases. What if you are running your application now as a cloud native application on top of Kubernetes? If you have Google Kubernetes engine, if you have Amazon EKS, if you have Azure Kubernetes services, if you have IBM IKS, if you have even running OpenShift on-prem, if you have VMware Tanzu, if you have Rancher, if you have native Kubernetes, which is an open source solution, and you need to protect the data services running inside this cloud native cluster and Kubernetes cluster, Veeam is providing you with full capability to protect your Postgres with your Mongo databases, your MySQL, your Cassandra, your Amazon RDS databases, whatever the workload is running inside your Kubernetes or cloud native applications. Veeam will provide you with 100% protection for this, even if it is running on-prem inside your data center. If you have 100% cloud model, if you have hybrid cloud model, if you have multiple clouds and you need to move your data from for example, you have Kubernetes application or native applications running over Amazon EKS, and you need to have another disaster recovery solution for it to run over Google. Veeam Custom Keyton can provide you with this capability. Veeam, in addition to the backup and the snapshot protection and data management, Veeam can provide a disaster recovery, a movement, a mobility and portability functionality to move between the clouds, between the platforms with no issue, with very, very easy solution. So in addition to the backup, to the data protection, to reducing the retention gaps, to securing your data, to avoid any data loss, Veeam is providing the workload mobility. And IT leaders around the globe, as per IDC and the Cloud User Survey run by Veeam and Sevland, we found that 47% of IT leaders are concerning about the cloud workload. Now I am running my data inside local cloud provider. But what if I need to move from this cloud provider to Amazon, to Google? What if I am running now over Oracle and I need to move to AWS? If I need to build my DR? This is very, very, very critical questions, and all IT leaders are asking it. And this is the first concept and the most critical priority for them to have a multiple workload running in the cloud. Even if your cloud provider doesn't provide you with such capability, Veeam can provide the mobility for you, because Veeam, you can take backup from on-prem and restore it as a virtual machine over Azure, AWS, using agentless solution. Veeam can take backup for your Hyper-V environment and restore it to the cloud, to Amazon, to Google, to Azure, to others. Veeam can take backup from AWS and copy it to a normal data center, on-premise data center, to restore it over the physical server, to restore it over your native hypervisor from VMware, from Hyper-V, from Nutanix HP, and others are coming. So with Veeam, you have flexible matrix, compatibility matrix, to move your workload from on-prem to cloud, from cloud to cloud, from cloud to on-prem, without any issues, with full flexibility and support from Veeam. Another use case, in addition to the backup retention, in addition to the mobility between cloud and having this functionality in the multi-cloud era, we have a very great feature. We can utilize it from the object storage. If you have an object storage subscription on Amazon FFP, for example, or Azure Block, or any object storage running on-prem, Veeam can provide a ransomware, a protection against ransomware with only one checkbox. If you can see with me, this is checkbox. When you are taking backup with Veeam to a Veeam backup repository in any storage you have, and you have another extent, which is the object storage, you can add your object storage or on the cloud, or on-prem, or you can mix between them and add them in a pool. Veeam can just do this checkbox, and your backup will be immutable. Your backup will be secure against ransomware deletion. You will be secure against any encryption, any human error to delete this backup, to modify this backup. So another use case, which is the immutability, to secure your backup, secure your data in case of you have a ransomware attack. If you are facing a cybersecurity attack, your backup will be safe with Veeam. This because Veeam can utilize this functionality to save, to offload your backup as immutable, as a read-only copy of your data. So this is about the infrastructure as a service, about the cloud mobility, about the cloud security, and keeping your data secure and protected against ransomware. What about the software as a service? One of the use cases now, the maturity of Office 365 to have Exchange Online, to have SharePoint Online, OneDrive, Microsoft Teams, and other services is now more mature enough, especially after the COVID-19 and what we have. Veeam is providing a complete protection solution to protect your data running over Office 365, even if it's 100% on the cloud or Microsoft Office 365, or you have the hybrid cloud model to have some services, some users are running over the cloud, and other services or users are running on-prem. Veeam can take backup from these services: Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, OneDrive for Business, Microsoft Teams. Veeam can take backup from Exchange on-prem, SharePoint on-prem, the file servers on-prem, and we can save this backup data to your on-premise data center. We can save this backup of your Office 365 data on the cloud. We can keep another copy of it. You can upload it to object storage from Microsoft, from Amazon, from Google, from Oracle, whatever the cloud provider you have. We can provide the backup of your Office 365 services and send a copy of your backup inside the cloud, and you can recover it at any time. In addition to these use cases, Veeam is providing a portable license. We are calling it Veeam Universal License. Veeam Universal License, it means that your license from Veeam will follow your workload. So in case you have a virtual machine running on your data center, running over Nutanix HV, VMware, physical server, Microsoft and Windows machine as an endpoint, Oracle database server, and you are moving your data from the on-prem to the cloud hyperscaler, or from the cloud to on-prem, or from cloud provider to cloud provider, the license from Veeam will follow your workload. So with Veeam, no need to stop, no need to purchase additional license, no need to do another calculation, no need to engage a consultant to start calculating the license for you, start calculating and doing additional effort. Veeam is providing a complete universal license to be portable. Veeam is providing the portability to your data against ransomware, against cloud portability, against the data protection requirements, and Veeam is providing the portability of the license too. So don't worry about the license. Whatever your data, your workload running where on any cloud platform, on any data center, Veeam license will follow it, and Veeam will take care of the protection of your workload. I have finished my slides. So if you have any questions, just reach me on the platform. I will be there to answer your questions. If you need to have a one-to-one meeting or discussion, we will be happy to support you and to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, for the insightful keynote presentation. And dear participants, do not forget to grab a seat at the Veeam software room in the lounge area and explore their solutions, what best they can do for your businesses. Thank you very much once again, Mohammed.